The US government's default answer to your visa is no. Stay in Canada. Don't take an American job. But the E-2 visa is one of the few petitions that actually changes their mind. And after writing dozens of successful ones, I can tell you it comes down to one thing: the story of your money. I'm Grant Wire. I'm an immigration lawyer in Miami, Florida. And over the next 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the exact four-step story that every successful E-2 has to tell. So by the end of the video, you'll know whether your money tells a story to win. Here's what nobody tells you. Every E-2 petition is an argument. You're asking them to make an exception. Their default is to protect American jobs for American citizens. Your job is to give them a reason to say yes. And the reason is your money. The E-2 visa exists because the US government likes one thing more than almost anything else: your money flowing into the American economy. You're telling them, tomorrow, the United States will be a little bit richer because of me. Tomorrow, US citizens will have jobs they didn't have yesterday because of me. That's the argument. Everything else, every document, every form, every wire transfer is just evidence supporting that one sentence. So how do you actually build that argument? 4 steps. Step 1, origination. Where did the money come from? This is where most people make their first mistake. They tell me, Grant, I have the money. Great, that's not the question. The question is, how did you get it? Did you earn it at a job? Did you sell a business? Did you inherit it? The US government wants to see the moment that money came into your life. And here's the rule I tell every client, and I want you to remember this one. If it's not on paper, it didn't happen. Your E-2 petition is a stack of paper, digital paper, but paper. If a fact about your money is not in those papers, the US government doesn't believe it. They don't take your word for it. They don't take my word for it. They take documents. So, if you earned the money at your job, here's what we need. Employment contracts showing your salary, pay stubs, personal bank statements showing the salary deposits, tax returns declaring that income, a letter from your employer if we can get it. There's at least 5 document types just to prove that one fact. If you sold the business, we need the sale agreement, the wire confirmation, proof of the buyer's identity, tax filings. If you inherited, we need the death certificate, the will, the estate distribution. Every origination story has its own document set. This is the area where US government and consulates have been focusing the most attention in the last few years. They want to see clean money. They want to see the story of the traceable money. Over-document this step always. Step 2, accumulation. The money sits and grows. Once you've shown where it came from, you need to show where it sat. This is the boring part of the story, and it's the part that most people skip. They show the origination, and then they jump straight to the wire transfer. The government sees that gap, and they get nervous. Show the money building up, paycheck by paycheck, month by month, in your personal checking account or your savings account or your spouse's account if that's where it went. We want to see the ledger. We want to see the boring monthly accumulation of capital that explains how an ordinary person ends up with $150,000 to invest in the United States. If you sold an asset to fund your visa, document the value of that asset before the sale. Document the sale itself, and document the money landing in your account. Document it sitting there ready to deploy. Step 3, the transfer. Your money crosses the ocean or crosses the border. Here's where we set up the path. Before any money moves, you need a US business, incorporated in the state where you want to live, registered with the IRS, with a federal tax ID, and a US business bank account opened in the company's name. We help all our clients set that up before a single dollar moves. Then, and this is critical, the wire goes from your personal account in your home country directly into your new business bank account. Not into a personal US account, not into a friend's account, not in cash, a clean wire transfer with the originator and the beneficiary clearly named and a memo line that says what it is. And remember, if it's not on paper, it didn't happen. We need the wire confirmation from the sending bank, the receiving confirmation from the U.S. bank, and statements from both sides showing the funds leaving and arriving. Get this step wrong and the rest of your petition collapses. Get it right and you've built the right bridge to tell your story. Step 4 is deployment. You spend the money. This is the step that many people get wrong, and it's the step that wins or loses your visa. Here's the rule. Money sitting in a bank account doesn't count. Money you can pull back to Canada tomorrow doesn't count. The U.S. government will approve your visa based not on potential investment. They want to see actual investment. They want to see your money already in the pockets of American citizens, American landlords, American vendors, and best of all, American employees. So you take the risk. Before you apply, you spend it. You sign the lease, you buy the equipment, you hire the staff, you pay the franchise fee, the build out, the marketing, the inventory, you commit. And you do all of that before the petition even gets filed. So how much should you spend before you apply? My rule of thumb is about 80 to 90% of your total investment should already be deployed by the day that we file. Not 100%. Your business needs some working capital to actually operate, but 80 to 90% should be gone out of your hands in some American bank account. Every dollar that you spend, if possible, should flow out of your U.S. business bank account. Not your personal account, not your home country account, the business account. That's what makes it business spending, and that's what allows the government to credit it towards your E-2. On the day you apply, your petition will have two numbers in it, a big number and a small number. And the consular officer is probably going to be flipping through the pages, looking for both of these numbers in the first 60 seconds. The big number, as I call it, is your total investment. Every dollar that left your home country and landed in the U.S. business. You want this number to wow them. North of 100,000 US is my baseline for most clients. Bigger if you can afford it. The small number is what you've already spent. It's going to be smaller than the big number because some of the money is still sitting in your business account as working capital. But it should be most of the money. It should make the officer smile and nod. So picture this officer somewhere in the consulate flipping through your file. Total investment, $120,000, let's say. Deployed already, $95,000. That officer sees a serious investor who has already put their money where their mouth is. That officer is in the right frame of mind to say yes. Now, the most common question I get, does it have to be that much? And the answer is it depends. The numbers are judged proportionally to the business. A laundromat may not need what a senior care business needs. A consulting firm may not need what a manufacturing business needs. The standard is what the officer calls substantial in relation to the total cost of the enterprise. But across every business type, one rule holds. The bigger the numbers, the stronger the petition. Before I let you go, I want to tell you 3 things I see that kill E-2 petitions over and over. Number 1. Unexplained money. A deposit shows up in your account 2 months before you wire the funds and you can't explain it. The officer will assume it's borrowed or gifted or worse. Document every meaningful deposit going back at least 2 years or as long as you can. Number 2, spending out of the wrong account. Clients all the time tell me, I would prefer to spend out of the business account in Canada or elsewhere because as soon as it leaves the business account, I will be taxed on it. This is a personal visa meant for persons. They want to see your personal funds are being put at risk. Mistake number 3, filing too early. The petition gets filed when only 40 or 50% of the funds are deployed because you're feeling impatient. The officer will read this as a passive investment, not an active one, and will deny you. Wait spend the money, and then file. 3 things before you go. First, in the comments, tell me what country you're applying from. The source of funds documentation looks completely different in Brazil and Argentina than it does in Canada or the UK. I read every comment, and your country might be the topic of our next video. Second, if you want an E-2 documentation checklist, the exact list of documents we share with every client, the link is in the description. It's free. Contact us. Let's use it. And third, if you're ready to start your petition and you want me to personally review your situation, book a consultation. We work with investors and entrepreneurs from all around the world, and I'd be glad to talk with you. Whatever you do, remember this. The U.S. government's default answer is no. Your job and my job is to give them every reason to say yes. I'm Grant Wire. I want to tell the story of your money, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.